My property sat at the very edge of Willow Creek, a quiet rural corner where the closest thing to trouble used to be raccoons stealing chicken feed. For 25 years, I lived on 30 acres of wooded land with a spring-fed pond and a small dam. I'd reinforced myself. It wasn't just a structure, it was the reason my crops survived tough summers, the reason wildlife thrived, the reason my land held its value. My dam was my pride, but that piece shattered the day the Willow Ridge Hole expanded its boundaries. Their new map conveniently drew my land inside their association. Mind you, I lived half a mile away from their nearest house. I never signed anything, nobody asked, they simply mailed me a letter demanding greater than $2,700 in annual HO dues. Failure to comply may result in enforcement action. I laughed at first. Enforcement? On my land? Out here in the county where the HO had no legal jurisdiction? But HOs don't run on logic, they run on entitlement. Chapter 1. Out of fees I never owed. I wrote back a polite but firm letter. Greater than I am not, nor will I ever be, a member of your HO. Please remove my address from your records. Simple, right? Wrong. 2 weeks later, I received a final notice stating I owed late fees, administrative penalties, and interest, totaling nearly $4,000. Then came the threats. We will place a lien on your property. We will disable illegal structures. We will take corrective action against unapproved water features. Water features? They meant my dam. It wasn't illegal. In fact, it was licensed by the county and inspected every few years. But HOs don't need facts to feel powerful, they just need signatures from a group of bored retirees in khakis. Still, I ignored them. That was my biggest mistake. Chapter 2. At the morning the machines came. It was a Wednesday at 6:15 a.m. The soft mist still floated across my pasture. I was sipping coffee when my dogs started barking like the sky was falling. Then I heard deta engines, heavy machinery, metal clanking. I rushed outside and saw 3 HO board members standing proudly with a demolition crew and a skid steer loader rumbling toward the dam. I sprinted down the slope. "Hey, you can't be here," I yelled. The HO president, a man with a sunburned forehead and an even worse attitude, stepped forward. "You refused to pay association fees," he said smugly. "Your illegal dam is causing water level discrepancies for our neighborhood retention pond. We're removing it. That dam is county approved." I snapped. "You have no authority." He waved a clipboard. "We sent notices. This is corrective action." Before I could form another word, the loader's bucket drove into the earthen wall of my dam like a battering ram. I felt the ground tremble. I felt my heart sink. I felt 25 years of work crumble in a single minute. Water surged through the breach, roaring down the slope, carving trenches into the soil as it escaped. My pond drained like someone had pulled the plug out of nature. I called the sheriff. I called the county water authority. I even called my lawyer. But by the time officials arrived, the damage was done. The HO president folded his arms smugly. "You can take it up with the board." He had no idea what he just set in motion. Chapter 3. Nature doesn't forget. See, my pond was fed by a natural spring. Without the dam to slow the flow, the water began moving downhill the broken bar fast, and downhill from my property, Willow Ridge HO's new luxury neighborhood. Their retention pond, a shallow, badly engineered bowl sitting between rows of overpriced homes, depended heavily on my dam regulating how quickly water flowed down into the creek. Without the dam, the flow surged. The soil around the breached wall eroded rapidly, turning into a deep, angry channel funneling water directly toward the HO subdivision. County officials tried to warn them. The HO refused to listen. "We corrected an unapproved structure," the president insisted. 2 days later, the skies opened. A stalled thunderstorm dumped nearly 4 inches of rain in under an hour. I stood on my porch, arms crossed, watching the inevitable unfold. Water roared down through the breach channel, turning it into a miniature canyon. Mud, debris, and logs were carried with it like a watery freight train. At the bottom of the hill, the HO neighborhood lay waiting. Chapter 4. The flood they created. The HO's retention pond filled within minutes, then overflowed, then outright collapsed. The water had nowhere else to go except through the carefully manicured neighborhood. Backyards vanished under 3 feet of fast-moving water. Cars floated, fences snapped, patios washed away. Decorative garden gnomes sailed by like little ceramic survivors. Within 45 minutes, the entire lower half of Willow Ridge looked like a swamp. Residents panicked. People yelled at home members. Someone live-streamed the flood on Facebook, screaming, "Greater than Naho destroyed a dam and now the whole place is underwater." My phone lit up with messages. Reporters arrived. County emergency crews rushed in boats to rescue families. The Hope president, he stood knee-deep in brown water, staring in horror at the river flowing straight through his neighborhood. For a brief, magical moment, he looked up at me standing safely on higher ground, and he knew exactly whose dam he had destroyed.